I think we've all had the experience where we stand in front of a big monolithic stone, or sometimes even an incredible statue or a building, and we can just feel there's like a consciousness to it. It kind of enlivens our own consciousness just to look at it. Even those cement big bumpers that they have sometimes in front of the malls, I guess so people can't drive into the mall. Sometimes you walk up to one of those and it just has a presence, a feeling. Well, there's a thing in the Vedic tradition called a Shiva Linga. And what it is a structure, generally stone, that enlivens that quality in your awareness. We could say it carries that quality of pure consciousness. Now, the facet of the unified field that is just represents pure consciousness, pure transcendental consciousness, that value of the unified field, you see, is called Shiva. So those stones, they call them Shiva Lingas, Shiva Linga. And by looking at a Shiva Linga, by being in his presence, it helps awaken you then, you see, to that transcendental level, to that cosmic level, if you will. Now, there's another concept, so that's a linga, but there's another concept called a yagya. A yagya, strictly speaking, yagya is any action that is evolutionary, any action that helps awaken you to that transcendental level, helps integrate you transgradiently. It's a yagya. But if you looked at ceremonies, you see there are these ceremonies that they call yagyas, havans, pujas, what have you. But a yagya in that regard involves the principle of mapping. We've talked about mapping. Mapping is the idea that in reflexology, the foot maps onto the rest of the body. You know, the big toe maps onto the head, the heel maps onto the pelvis, like that. But in a yagya, they employ a technology of mapping where every movement, every gesture, all the words that are chanted map onto a deeper level of your being and enliven that level of your being through this technology of mapping. Just like with reflexology, you can massage the big toe. If you have a headache, the headache will go away. That kind of an idea. So there's a mapping, there's a correlation there. And by working on one level, the foot, you affect the other level, the whole body. And in these yagyas, then, there's a very precise, very scientifically accurate technology of the unified field, you could say, interfaced with through this technology of mapping to bring about a life more in harmony with the depth of your being, you see? So we can't take these yagyas lightly, really. It's not like, oh, anything goes, and, well, it says, you know, in the cognized, these knowledge of how to perform a yagya was cognized, you see, and passed down generation after generation. But we can't look at them and say, well, you know, that's really great, but wouldn't it be nice if we changed it and, you know, played this other song during it? Or maybe we don't have a coconut, but in the coconut, well, we'll just use a peach. And you lose the understanding that there's a very scientific and very precise mapping of what a coconut is, you see? So you can hear that. And you can say, okay, well, I understand that, I get that. But it's quite another thing when you awaken to that within your own being. So it's not just some notion, some concept that, oh, well, that's entertaining, that's interesting. But it's like, yeah, it's right. I found it within myself, and I know it to be true, you see. Good.